Over the weekend, the Palestinian Islamic terror group, Islamic Jihad, fired some 1,000 rockets toward Israeli territory from the Gaza Strip. More than 1 million Israeli civilians, including many of my colleagues here at Honest Reporting, were sent running to shelters as they feared for their lives. And while Iranian-backed terrorists attacked families in southern Israel, Tel Aviv, and the outskirts of Jerusalem, the media assault against the Jewish state also went into full swing. Here are 3 ways journalists misled their readers about Operation Breaking Dawn and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, a terror group also known as PIJ. Number 1, starting the story in the middle. Contrary to the prevailing media narratives, the escalation did not start with Israel's targeted killing of Islamic Jihad operatives last Friday. In reality, Israel has been dealing with an uptick in Palestinian terror attacks since March. Over the course of 3 months, 19 innocent Jewish, Christian, and Muslim Israelis were killed and 44 people sustained injuries. PIJ praised a deadly shooting attack in the heart of Tel Aviv as one of the most powerful resistance operations. In April, the organization's Al-Quds brigades revealed a network of attack tunnels in Gaza. It also showed off a new type of armed drone to be used in the upcoming conflict with Israel. In response to these intimidation tactics, the IDF conducted a raid on the West Bank terror hub Jenin on August 1st, where they arrested PIJ commander Bassam al-Saadi, who stands accused of organizing countless acts of terror. Soon after, PIJ issued a threat that it would, quote, bomb Israel with our most advanced weapons, end quote. Fearing a serious attack with anti-tank guided missiles, Jerusalem ordered the closure of highways, train lines, and schools near the border with Gaza. Residents of the south lived in anxiety for days. Only when Israeli forces detected PIJ terrorists approaching the border on Friday did they act. And when they did, the IDF still limited itself to carrying out precision strikes against only military targets. The second way that the world media misled was by taking a both sides approach. Indeed, this was certainly not a case of bad people on both sides or tit for tat, as some reporters like to portray the conflict between the Israel Defense Forces and US and EU designated terror groups in Gaza. In line with the IDF's very strict code of ethics, the Israeli army goes to great lengths to avoid harming civilians. A video clip shared by the IDF spokesman's unit shows how Israel goes beyond its obligations under customary international law.
קיבלת בן אדם בתוך ה-60 מטר מתקרב למבנה? בן אדם ב-60 מטר איפה? ממזרח לבית, על הציר, מתקרב למבנה, עוד 10 שניות יחלוף אותו. אנחנו בחדר. חדר קיבלנו.
But while Israel tries to minimize civilian casualties, Palestinian terror groups use their people as human shields. For example, on Sunday, a rocket launched by Islamic Jihad misfired and landed in the coastal enclave, almost killing a Palestinian news crew.
صواريخ تتجه نحو البحر الآن ربما أحمد باتجاه حقل الألغاز الصواريخ تتجه نحو البحر هناك انطلقت عدة صواريخ باتجاه البحر.
A failed rocket attack by Islamic Jihad was likely also responsible for the killing of children in Jabalia, for which Palestinian reports blamed Israel. The Israeli Air Force did not strike in Jabalia at that time. PIJ's actions amount to a double war crime. The terror group deliberately fires rockets at Israeli population centers while using Gazans as shields to fend off Israeli retaliatory actions. According to a new Israeli assessment, approximately 200 rockets fell short into the Gaza Strip, killing 15. Islamic Jihad rockets killed more civilians in Gaza than IDF airstrikes did, despite their differences in firepower. This important contrast between Israel minimizing civilian harm on both sides and Islamic Jihad trying to maximize civilian harm on both sides was buried or completely omitted in many reports. Instead, the world's leading news organizations uncritically cited the Gazan Health Ministry that is run by the Hamas terror organization. The third way that the world media misled readers around the world was erasing Iran from the story. An analysis by Honest Reporting found that only around 45% of the articles produced in the wake of the war mentioned the role of the Islamic Republic and its links to Islamic Jihad. This despite the fact that the organization has become a fully owned and operated subsidiary of Tehran in recent years. Iran has helped the group to greatly expand its military capabilities, and it pays PIJ millions of dollars for each successful attack. PIJ is part of a wider group of Iran-funded terrorist organizations that includes Hezbollah and the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. Support for them enables Iran to orchestrate missile attacks against Israel. It's imperative for the media to note that in the days leading up to the conflict with Israel, the PIJ leadership repeatedly met with senior Iranian officials in Tehran. The world powers working on a nuclear deal with officials of the same Iranian regime in Vienna must take its sponsorship of terror and attempts to murder civilians into account before signing any deal. Hopefully, a quiet and normal life is now on the way to being restored to the residents of both Gaza and southern Israel. But Palestinian Islamic Jihad Secretary General Ziad al-Nakhala has already threatened to break the ceasefire if Jerusalem does not release terrorists from prison. Honest Reporting reiterates its call for journalists around the world to report on Israeli defensive operations accurately with proper context, so the world will know the truth.